Good evening, believers, and welcome to the Healing Hour Live. I am Love Coach Dasha, and if you do not know what you have stepped into, or if you do, I am here today to help you to get on the healing path after infidelity. You have been through a trauma. Your beloved, the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with, who you felt so deeply and truly for, cheated. It is absolutely not even a strange story. It's not even a weird thing to have happened. It happens to tons and tons of people. It happened to me. And I wanted to stay with my husband. I wanted to stay with the person who had cheated on me. And I did not find a lot of support to do so. So I figured out a way to support myself. And so I am coming to you today to give you a little bit of that support, to tell you what I learned, what I know about actually getting past this point in your relationship to a place where you are more trusting, more open, feel like the love is coming back, feel like that desire to want to be with him is still there. I know that it's there right now because you do want to stay, right? It's still in your heart. He has to have some portion of your heart for you to even be here and listening to me right now. I know that for sure, but it feels uncertain right now. It feels kind of shaky right now because you're not sure. But the problem is, you're not sure if he feels the same way about you. I am here to tell you that he absolutely does feel the same way about you, and you can get to a better place together. I promise you, I did it myself. It is 14 years past D-Day, and me and my husband are having a great time. All right. We are loving on each other even more. Everything is getting better and better and better. The further out we're getting, the better it is getting. I know you can get to that place too, and I want to help you to get to that place. So follow me along the healing path as we try and figure out exactly what you need to do to be able to get over this and get to a better place in your relationship. Okay. All right. So good evening to you. Hello. Whoever is here, let me know. Give me some likes. Give me some love. Say hey. If you are watching me on Facebook, I am streaming live to YouTube and to Instagram. But if you are catching me on my Facebook group, the Love After Cheating group, go join if you haven't joined. Make sure that you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and allow them to see your name, so then I can see your name on my streaming software, because I can't see it otherwise. It just says Facebook user. All right. See, because Allie's done that. Allie has said yes, that they can see her name, so I can see it on my screen. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Glad you are here with me today. All right. Let me make sure I can see all there is to see. All right, fabulous. So we are going to talk today. We're going to talk about getting on the healing path. Now, last week was a challenge week. So we have come full circle again. Last week was the support week of the dreams formula. That's that S at the end. Support, figuring out how you can get support to help you to figure this all out. I am still offering that support. In fact, let me post right now. I will give you the link to come. It is in the Facebook group. You have the link. Oh, and you know what? I think it pops up on YouTube too. But you will have the link. Just click that link. You can get a 45-minute session with me. I will sit down. I will listen to what is going on. I will give you some action steps, okay? Even if you don't want to work with me any further than that, you will at least have that much support from me. But I have 3 programs right now that are open that I want you to try and get in on if you are in need of somebody to assist you down this healing path. I love this work. I love to do this, and I definitely want to help you. So go sign up for the free call. Worst come to worst, you'll get some good advice. Go on about your merry way. I hope that is all you need. I would pray if I could just do 45-minute sessions and then that was all people needed. And they were like, you know what? I am set. I am on the healing path. Let me go. I would love that. I would think that was fantastic to be able to have that happen. But most people tend to need a little bit more assistance, a little bit more support to get on down the healing path. So I do offer that. But after a 45-minute session with me, you are going to feel better. You're going to feel like, okay, I have some ideas about what I can do right now. There are things that are within my power to do to start my own healing. I like this. I feel a little bit better now. I feel a little bit more confident. That is what my whole goal is for you to feel better after you talk to me, okay? So definitely go ahead. If you have not, Allie, I don't see you. Go sign up for for a call. Girl, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to everybody who was in the challenge last week. You all were fantastic in the challenge last week. So I want to talk to everybody. I am going to, before the end of this weekend, you are going to hear from me. If you were in the trust issues challenge, you're going to hear from me this week, okay? Because I want to talk to all of you. I want all of you to sign up for doggone um 45-minute call with me so we can talk. I love to hear your stories. I know that sometimes it seems like you don't have anybody to tell about this that isn't going to be all, you know, guilty with you. It was not going to make you feel all bad for the story. You can tell me the whole story. I guarantee you, I probably heard way worse. I may have been through way worse. So I'm not judging anything. I will hear your story out. You can get some of that off your chest and get on the healing path with me. Hey, Lisa. Hey. Glad you're here. Allie, no privacy to talk. Dang. Well, you know what you can do? You can message me. Definitely still message me. If you can't talk, go ahead and text it out send it to the Love Coach Dasha messenger, and I will respond to you. I want to hear what's been going on. All right. See, that's the type of stuff that's perfect. I have that text support program. That's always perfect because it's like I have some women who don't want to tell their mate that they are talking to anybody, and they don't want to be saying it in front of anybody else either. So it's best for them to just text me, and that's perfect because it's like 45 days you can sit there and text with me, and I'll be texting back and forth with you and helping you along even without other people seeing. All right. Oh, Lisa, yes, you are here late, aren't you? It's after 1 a.m. where you are. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here for me today. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad that you stayed up late just to come see me. I appreciate that. Thanks. All right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and get started then, because I want to tell as much as I possibly can about getting on the healing path. But this week, we are starting again with the D of the dreams formula. We're talking a little bit about the decision this week. So, starting with decisions you can make for yourself, okay? As you are healing, things that you can do right this second that will start to help you with this trauma. You need some skills. You need some coping skills to be able to get past the trauma. That's just what is needed. So my first two things always are going to be doing your deep breathing and doing your journaling. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been doing your journaling? If you are not, you're doing yourself a disservice. I promise you it is going to be helpful along the path. Even if sometimes you are journaling and you are like, this is not helping me. Later on, being able to come back and read what you wrote, where you were mentally in that point to where you are a little bit further down the line, it is going to be helpful. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it, just go for it anyway. The deep breathing is the same way. People are like, it's breathing. It's not that big a deal, but it is actually affecting your body, and your body has been affected by this trauma. Trauma is not just, oh, it's in your head and nothing else is affected. You know what it feels like when you are stressed out, right? You've got this stuff all in your chest, in your head, all across your shoulders, all of that, right? Oh, I got people coming. Okay. Hey, Lisa, yes and no. All right. So I needed it at the start, but I feel I have nothing else to write now. All right. Okay. All right. Well, try writing about, okay, well, where you were then and why you felt like you had so much to write and where you are now, because when you don't feel like you don't have so much to write. Try that since that's the way you're feeling right now. Mindy, I've been missing you too. You got the new job working. You're having a good time over there. I am glad that you are in the new job, but I do miss you. I know I don't get to talk to you as much as I used to. I am glad for you though. I'm glad you're doing well in your new job. All right. So, yeah. Your breathing is affecting you physically, just like the trauma is affecting you physically. You have to get back in control of your body and your reactions. That is like Oh gosh, it's like 60% of the healing. I swear. Most of it doesn't have to do with him. Most of it has to do with re-regulating your brain and your body to come back to baseline instead of being so heightened and so upset all the time. That is what you're trying to do to try and bring it on down. All right. Lisa, you said time helps and choosing to not give them power over me. Decisions, girl, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You have to make up your mind what you want. You do not have to believe anything that you don't want to believe. You don't have to follow what other people say should happen after this has gone down. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can lead your own path. You can make your own way. Give yourself some time, give yourself some space, and actually heal from this. People act like you can't heal. You certainly can heal. You are a woman. I'm trying to tell you, we can do anything. Okay. That is where I am coming from with this. I know we can do anything. So if I was able to do it, and I was so anxious and so like, I felt so broken, but if I was able to do it with a very difficult case now, I look, I know some of your stories, but I know I'm telling you, mine was more difficult than yours was for a good long while. All right. Either way, like to be able to do that with such a difficult person, I feel like Superwoman now that I was able to get through and heal myself. I was able to do it myself. I didn't have to wait on him. I didn't have to have him fix me. I may be a little bit of a damsel in distress, but he didn't have to rescue me. And I want y'all to feel that. I want y'all to know how powerful your decision to heal actually is. It is super important. You got to be doing the things that you need to be doing to heal and move forward, or else you'll just get stuck and you'll feel terrible. All right. All right. So we're going to do the deep breathing. Glad y'all are here with me today. We're going to do the deep breathing all together now, all right? What we're going to do is 4-7-8 breathing. What you do is blow out, try and deflate your lungs, get as much air out of your lungs as you can so you have a fresh, clean palate to start with. You're going to inhale through your nose if you can. Allergies have been crazy right now, but if you can breathe through your nose, do it. But if you can't do it and you have to inhale through your mouth, that's fine for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. And then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. All right. I will count for you. You don't even have to think about the counting. But the counting part is good when you are doing it on your own. You are activating a different part of your brain from the part of your brain that is traumatized and trying to freak out. So when you are counting, when you're using your brain for rational things, hey, Macasma, hey, Felicia, girl, how you doing? Glad you made it. You're just in time to deep breathe. But what happens is you are slowing yourself down. You are gaining control over your body again. You are telling your body, I do not need you to be in autopilot and freaking out on me right now because of fear and anxiety and feeling like, oh, I got to worry about you getting hurt. I don't need that right now. I am capable of handling this situation. Let me be in control. And that's what you're doing when you do your deep breathing. You're telling your brain what you need it to do. You need it to go back to its normal pace of breathing, slowing it down, getting your blood going the way that it was going before this happened. Because in the moment when you are anxious like this, your blood changes its direction. It goes to your arms, it goes to your legs, because you are in fight or flight. You want to fight or you're going to run away real fast. All right. So when you change the way you are breathing, you are changing the path of that blood flow around your body. And so you are signaling to your body, you do not need it to fight or to run. You need it to go to your brain. You need it to go to your heart. You need it to go to your digestive tract so you don't feel so sick. You need it to go to where it was normally going to go anyway, so that you can feel calmer and more centered. When it's going all, off in its own direction, it makes you feel even more anxious because your body is getting ready to fight. All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing. We're going to do 3 times. I want you to do five times a day, but just for brevity's sake, we're going to do 3. All right. So what we're going to do is blow out, make the noise, inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How does that feel? How does it feel when you're doing the deep breathing? It should make you feel a little clearer. It may make you feel a little tingly because all of a sudden you got some fresh oxygen up to your brain. It can make you feel all sorts of different ways, but it's different than that panic sensation, isn't it? It's a little bit different from that heart thumping out your chest, stomach twisting up in knots, head all tight feeling. It's different. So that's all we're trying to do is consistently change from that anxiety ridden body feeling to a more relaxed, more neutral body feeling. If we can focus on that, we can get to that place, we can start to feel better, less anxious, less terrible thoughts going through our heads because we are more in control of what we're doing and what we're thinking. All right. Second thing is doing your journaling. Do your journaling. Okay. I got my little, look at this, the Golden Girls journal right there. Don't you want to write in that? That looks like a great journal to write in because it got all the, look, it got the quotes from them. So have I given you any indication at all that I care from Sophia? All right. All sorts of good stuff. You can write in anything. I don't care what it is. It could be a notebook. It could be one of those little flip steno books. You can write in anything you want to. I just want you to sit down and write. Felicia, I know you got the carpal tunnel thing going on. I get it. I know it's hard to write, but there's something really cathartic about sitting down, pen to paper, taking those thoughts out of your brain and channeling through the pencil or the pen and onto this paper. It's like it gets etched in there and your brain believes that you have paid some attention to that. So it's willing to let that thought go. And that's what we need, right? We needed to let that damn thought go. All right. The thought is what's killing us. Aren't the thoughts difficult? Let me know if you are having some difficulty with the thoughts. If the thoughts keep on trying to trick you, keep on trying to mess with your head, keep on trying to tell you that, no, you're so wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. You are doing terrible things to yourself by allowing this person to be close to you. I know the thoughts. I know the thoughts. I can help you with the thoughts if you work with me. But the simplest things that you can do for the thoughts are to do your deep breathing because that focuses you on something other than the thoughts. You are not in the past when you are counting. You are in the now, paying attention to your breath coming into and out of your body. That's all you're doing. And when you're doing your journaling, you're in the present. You are talking about what is happening right now, why I feel like this. And so you can put it all down and then you're not stuck in the past. Excellent decisions that you can make right this second that will change things. All right. Third thing that you can do, another decision that you can make is to be grateful. You've got to be grateful for good stuff that happens to you. The trauma will try and tell you that nothing good ever happens to you. It is lying. It is lying to you, okay? Your brain will lie to you on trauma. Your brain will tell you things that are not true, especially all those awful things about you, right? Because you're so stupid and you're so dumb for doing this and you are just a doormat. Aren't those thoughts coming to you too? None of that is true. None of that is really true. It is just internalizing terrible, fearful thoughts from other people, from other places that you have internalized and you are replaying to yourself through this situation. Well, as persistent as that negativity is, you've got to be just as persistent in getting positive thoughts into your head. You have to focus on it. You have to pay attention to it. You have to practice it. It is something you have to always be coming back to, okay? When you feel yourself spiraling, when you're like, I cannot get out of this negative spiral, I keep thinking all these terrible thoughts, you need to start by thinking about things that you are grateful for. Down to, I am grateful for this breath I am about to take into my body. I could be dead right now, but I am able to inhale and exhale, and I am capable of feeling better than I have been feeling right now. That's all you need to do. Pull yourself out of that negative spiral by being grateful for something that you do have. All right. So, in order to do that, we do Thirsty Thursday. We talk about good stuff in our lives. I only got one for Thirsty Thursday, but if you come up and you post it before the end of this live, I will talk about your Thirsty Thursday information too. But this one came from Beth. Beth is out here doing her thing. It's been a little difficult, but she has been rallying. Every time it gets a little bit difficult, she is putting on her big girl drawers and she is trying to do it every time it gets difficult. I see you, Beth. I see that that's what you've been doing, and that's all that I ask from every one of you. When it gets hard, okay, we need to step back for a second, figure out what decisions we are making, and try and make good decisions towards the future that we want. That is all it really takes, and that's what Beth is doing. But Beth said the other day we were talking, she found out that she's not the only woman who feels stuck a while after making the decision to stay, then beginning to learn how to get unstuck. And we are going to talk about that a little bit too. But being grateful for knowing that you're not alone. That's why I made this group. That's why I wanted you all to be here with me in Love After Cheating and everything that I do on social media, because I don't want you to feel like you're alone. You are not. You are absolutely not. And honestly, it is way more common to be cheated on than people are trying to let you believe. I have worked with countless women and they would try and hide it. I'm trying to work on their relationship, but they're trying to hide the fact that this person cheated on them and that they still aren't over it. They're still not past it. And you can't get anywhere else in the relationship until you let go of that. It does not work. You can't just say, oh, well, we're going to sweep it under the rug and it's just going to be gone. Now, you actually have to actively heal from it in order to get to that better place and be able to have a decent relationship. Because if you don't do that, everything that they do from now on will make you feel like you can't trust them. Everything. You'll never get back to that place where you can believe in each other well. And they're not going to believe in you, because if you are constantly not believing in them, then that's not very loving either. So it's never going to be okay until you let this go, until you have gotten to the place where you are better than you had been when you were all devastated. Okay. So I am glad Beth figured out that she is not the only one. You are not the only one. None of you are. The group is like 3,200 women. Every one of them going through the fact that they have been cheated on, but this is a person that they love and they want to stay with them and they want to work this out. That's what brought them in the first place. You are not by yourself. Don't ever believe that madness that you are somehow by yourself in this. You can tell just by how many TV shows and movies and songs involve cheating that this is a perfectly common thing to happen. This is not, oh, special because you are such an awful person that this happened to you. No, no. This is not even out of the ordinary. It's regular. It's plain. So don't think that you're by yourself, because there are tons of other women who are feeling like this. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm going to come back to the unstuck thing because I want to talk to you a little bit about how you get unstuck. All right. Oh, okay. Let me come back to this. I can't see anything. All right. Tina, you said you're late, but you made it. I know that's right, girl. You own it. Own it. Zaya? Is it Zaya? Let me know. You're so welcome. I am trying to help just inspire you to understand that you are not by yourself. This is not a strange thing that you want to do. Just because you love the person that you love, that's not out of the ordinary. Somebody asked me that today. It's like, well, I feel like it's wrong for me to like want to love somebody who hurt me so badly. But that's the only person who could have hurt you that badly. The person that you love, anybody that you don't care about couldn't have hurt you this bad, right? It's impossible. They couldn't have hurt you. It is only the people that we really, really love, that really, really love us, that can hurt us this deep. And that's okay. It is all right that bad things happen. That is not the point. The point is that eventually you're going to learn how to get over the bad things. You're not going to live forever in the bad things. And the bad things have things to teach us too. They're not just all bad. So it's not it's not an out of the ordinary thing. You are not strange. There's nothing wrong with you for wanting to love who you love. You just love who you love. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. All right. Let's see. Al, you said good to know. I was tired of tripping over that lump in the rug. Exactly. Because that's what women feel like. It's like, oh, well, I just have to sweep it under the rug. I just have to act like my feelings aren't there, like they don't exist. I'm not saying that. I am just saying that you cannot go confronting your mate every time you're feeling some kind of way. That is what I'm trying to say. If you are consistently talking about it, you are consistently re-traumatizing yourself. This is PTSD. If you keep on talking about it with completely unsupervised, you don't even have like a therapist to work with you on talking about it, but you want to sit him down and talk to him about all your pain every single time it comes up, you are not only just wearing them down, but you are wearing yourself down too. And you are wearing a track in your brain that says, every time I feel this, this has to be the entire thing. This has to be all of our day. We have to sit down and we have to talk about this. So you're giving a lot of power to something that hurt you. And you don't have to do that. It's funny because the trauma wants that. The trauma wants you to consistently be in it, to remember it, to be reliving it. But that's not how you heal. I know what the trauma screams at you. I know the trauma is like, no, you need to tell him how bad he hurt you. You need to sit him down and he needs to understand. He needs to apologize again. Okay, look. You got to make sure that you're going to actually accept the apology. If you want him to apologize, you've got to actually be ready to receive it. There is no point in apologizing to you if you're not in a place where you can actually hear it, is it? I don't think that works. It didn't work for me. How about that? I will say that much. It did not work for me. So everybody that I have been talking to, it hasn't worked for them either. Okay, trying to make this apology, you're trying to put your healing on what they do. That is where you're having a problem. You got to make the decision that your healing is based on what you do, not what they do. Giving them that much responsibility after hurting you this way is crazy. Of course you're going to freak out about it because it's not a great idea. It's not a good idea to just give over all of the power to heal you to the person that hurts you. No, you gather that to yourself and work through it for yourself, not with them fixing you, but with you fixing yourself. That's where you will get your power from. That's where you will start to understand that this is not something that can break you forever. You may feel broken now, but you're not going to stay that way because you have power. All right. All right. So, one more thing. One more thing before I go on to answer questions. And ask me questions. You're here with me. Ask me some questions. Let me know. I didn't see any on the post. The post about what you want to chat with me about today. But definitely, if you are here with me live, go ahead and post a question so that I can see it. I should be able to see them everywhere over here on StreamYard. I should be able to see you if you're seeing me on YouTube, or if you're on Instagram, you just gotta post below the video on Instagram. And if you're with me on Facebook, just comment below. If you got anything going on, if you're freaking out about something, if you want me to explain something that has happened, I am more than happy to do that for you today. All right. All right. So this is the Ann deck from theskindeep.com. This is the healing edition. Allie, you said you got this. This is an excellent deck, okay? Your brain on trauma wants to ask questions. It wants to know what exactly happened. And I get that. I get the wanting to know, but you don't really need to know all of those details. I promise you it is not helpful. It is just more ammunition for your brain to use against you as you are trying to heal. So your brain will be throwing this stuff at you in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep if you just get all of this information. So let's stop trying to collect any information right now. Let's just go to getting some healing questions. on deck. Ask some questions that are good for you instead of questions that will just make you sad, all right, to find the answers out, or that you won't believe anyway. Because that's another problem with after cheating, is you're not going to believe a word he says anyhow. So you ask the questions and then he gives you an answer, and then you don't like that answer, so you ask the same question again, and he knows that you didn't like that answer, so he gives you a different answer because he knows that first answer is not what you wanted, even if it's the truth. So now you feel like, oh, he's lying to me, when you were actually telling him, no, I don't want that answer, try again. So it is just a big old circle. It's just a big old mess. Let's not do that, okay? Here are some questions that you can ask. I'll give you 3 of these. These are good questions that you can just sit here and talk to each other about, all right? So what's the first thing you noticed about me today? Could be anything, right? That's a good question. What's the first thing that you noticed about me today? Not the first thing you noticed about me ever. The first thing I noticed about him? Oh, I saw he was cute the first time I saw him, but then, like, very shortly thereafter, he walked up some steps in front of me, and I noticed his legs and his butt, and I was like, ooh, that was the first thing I really, really noticed about him. But, I noticed about him today was he was sitting up on the side of the bed, seriously trying to find us a new place because our house just got sold, and so we're trying to find a new place to move to. And that was what he was doing first thing. That's the first thing I noticed about him this morning, was sitting up on the bed, looking through Craigslist, looking through all the apartments and Zillow and everything, trying to find a place for us to live. So that's what I remember today. What was the first thing you remember about him today? All right. Ooh, my goodness. This is a loaded question now. You got to be careful with questions like these. If he doesn't want to answer this, don't make him. But this is a question that may give you some insight. What has my pain taught you? What has my pain taught you? Oh my. And that's one of those questions that, okay, answer it for him too. What has his pain taught you? Because there's pain all around here. This did not happen because he felt great about himself, okay? This happened out of some pain. So what has his pain taught you? That's a good question too. All right, last one. What do I do that makes you trust me? You know how I feel about that one. I feel like you can't make anybody trust you. You can't make somebody. People have to choose to trust you. And if they choose not to, okay, that's fine. But you have to choose whether you want to trust somebody or not. They can't make you. They can't give you any good enough reason for you to trust them. Honestly, really, people are not that trustworthy. We have issues, okay? So, it's very difficult to have something that will make you trust somebody that you just don't want to trust. But if you do want to trust them, a lot of the time you can get there even without them really trying to make you. All right, let's see. All right, so that's all the good stuff that you can do for yourself. All right, you can do, well, that's just some of the good stuff that you can do for yourself, because honestly, you are capable of so much more than you believe that you are capable of right now. I know that you feel like you are limited. I know that you feel like you might be stuck. I know that you feel like you might be dumb. I know that you may feel all of those things, but you are not, and you have way more power than you believe you do. You just have to go ahead and exercise it. Believe in yourself, believe in your choices, what you want, and then just go for it. I promise you, it'll feel like you're falling, and then you'll fly. All right. Felicia, you think your words are better. Nobody can't have a trust ourselves. Yeah, we can't really, honestly, people are not that trustworthy. We're not. All right, we're just not. We are creatures that do all sorts of strange things. All right, I've seen that, but this is one person. I'm asking you to trust one person, entirely one on this planet. No more, no less. Just that. And that will change your life, okay? But you don't have to trust them 100%. You don't have to trust them with everything. Oh, good Lord, why? Why would you do such a thing? I know people tell you that that's just necessary for a relationship. Like, oh, you have to trust them 100%. You have to know that they would just never do anything wrong, but that's impossible. That's impossible to know. You can't say 100% somebody will never do the wrong thing. That would be that's a delusional thing to think, that somebody that you, just because they love you, they will never do the wrong thing. Are you kidding me? That sounds insane. If you say it aloud, it sounds crazy, but people tell you that all the time. People say that that's like the standard for the relationship. It's got to be 100% trust. I'm like 70% trust. Honestly, that's all you really need. All right. Lou is talking. Lou, you asked me just on time because that's exactly what I was about to talk about. Lou asked, "What are the first steps to reconciliation?" Oh, your decision. That is the very first step. That is a couple of the first steps. Okay, that's like the first few steps that you're going to take down the path. All have to do with you making a decision. All right, you have to decide that this person, yes, it sucks. It sucks that they did this to me. I'm angry at them. But are they worth me trying to heal and fix this relationship? Do I feel like they're worth it to me? Is that where I am? Do I really feel like that about this person? Because honestly, if you didn't, you probably would have just kicked them to the curb, right? Like, honestly, if they weren't the one, if they weren't your person, if they weren't your lobster, wouldn't you have just gone ahead and been like, okay, this is over now, bye bye? Isn't that what you would have done? Like everybody else that I felt like that, yeah, that happened to me before. Of course, I've been cheated on before. Yeah, everybody. I was like, oh well, all right, we're moving on now. Thank you. Thanks so much for playing. Goodbye. Didn't even phase me, didn't even stress me. But this person is the person I was like, okay, I don't care. I this is not a deal breaker for me. And that's a hard thing to come to grips with, to realize that this is a person who is breaking your rules. And that's a scary concept. Hey there, Capricorn season. How you doing, girl? That is a scary concept, to just say, I understand that I had rules, but I feel like this is a person who is exception to my rule. I feel like this is a person that, in spite of their terrible behavior, I still love them. I still want to be with them. I still want to trust them. I still want this to stick together. I am going to go for it. That is a hell of a decision to have to make. It is a brave decision to make. And it's your decision. It has absolutely nothing to do with what they do. If they could still be seeing the woman, they could be with her right this second. That does not matter. If you are choosing, what you want to do is to move forward and get this relationship together, I promise you that you are capable of doing that. Even if they're still acting up, even if they're still just doing the most, you can still steer this in a direction where you have your happy ending. All right. Felicia said, have you ever cried again? And yeah, how could you do this to us? And you don't want me. I did. I did long ago, but it's been a very long time since I cried and it was like, how could you do this? And yeah, getting all upset about it again. It's been a very long time. I remember like one of the worst times, like I was crying in the shower and I am boo-hooing and I'm crying loud. And like my husband just like stopped everything with his clothes on, came and got in the shower with me and wrapped his arms around me. And he was like, I am sorry. I am trying so hard. I am trying not to make you cry anymore. I'm so sorry. I remember those days, but those days have been long past. It has not been any times in my recent memory where I was crying and how could you do this to us? I know the answers now. I know a lot of the answers now. How could he do it? He was sick. Honestly, that's a lot of what it was. Some of it was bad behavior. Some of it was the stupid reason of just what he thought he was supposed to be doing. But honestly, a lot of it he was just sick. Let's see. But I had to make that decision. That was always the first step, was coming back to, I want this. This is what I want. It's not about him. It's not about what he's doing. I want this relationship. I love this person. I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's worth the time and the effort. And that's where you're going to get the strength from you. It's not going to have to do with him. He's not going to give you the strength. It is going to be your own love, your own decision that gives you enough to be able to get to that place. All right. Mandy said, if we both go to individual counseling, is marriage counseling really necessary? It's helpful. It is. It is very helpful because individual counseling is not designed to work on the marriage. It's not designed to be working on the two of you coming together as a unit. Individual counseling is for you to work on your own individual issues. You've got your own stuff. He's got his own stuff that you all need to be working on. Now, working on your own stuff is going to make the relationship better. Absolutely. Dealing with your own demons, slaying them a little bit is going to help your relationship. Absolutely. But it is much easier to work on the marriage if you're actually doing counseling together for the marriage. If you're doing actual like coaching or counseling for specifically for the unit of the two of you instead of the two of you as individuals. Does that make sense? It now I'm not saying I am not taking anything away from individual therapy. That is super helpful. Okay. Getting your own stuff in order, trying to get all the stuff in your head and in your heart to align and get yourself to a better place mentally. Absolutely do it. But it is a little bit easier to work on the marriage in marriage counseling. That's specifically what it is designed to do. It is not for just your individual problems. It is working those problems together, figuring out how your issues can complement each other and help each other get to that next place. You know, I hope that makes sense. So I talked in my recovery and reconciliation program. I usually don't tell y'all what I tell them, but this coincides with the talking about the decision thing. And I have talked to several people this week who have been in the same place and they've been stuck. They've been feeling like they can't get anywhere. And then that their mate is not doing enough. They're not doing enough. They're not behaving in a certain way to make them feel some sort of way. All right. And yeah, if you talk to me about this week, everybody did. It was not just you. It was several people this week were like, I feel stuck and he's not doing enough. Okay. When you are like that, it comes back down to the decision. What happens when you are in that place, when you're feeling all stuck, when you can't get any further, you feel like you can't get to a place where you're like in love anymore. You're just kind of riding it out, kind of just, doing the things, but you're not really into it, not really feeling it. A lot of that has to do with your own decisions. You're probably waiting on them to do something instead of you doing something that you could do to help yourself feel better. And I get that feeling. I totally get that because you're like, well, they broke me. Damn it. He should be the one to come up with stuff to make me feel better. But okay, he's not a mind reader. All right. He is going to mess that up every time. I promise you, he's not going to get it right now. That's going to take a few years to get to a place where he can get it right. Whatever it is that you're needing in the moment, when you're having a moment, it's going to take a few years. Okay. There's a few steps before that. How about that? All right. You have got to do what you need to do. And then as you are doing it, you are showing them, hey, it is capable to do this, to be able to get me to feel better. That is a possible thing in this universe. You could do it. This is how I do it for myself. When you do that, when you give that example, it makes it easier for him to follow along with the example and he can do it. So you got to be really working on your own stuff. It's so important. It's so key. When you are in that stuck place and you feel like they're just not doing enough, you need to switch that thinking around. Just like every other negative thought, he's not doing enough. Okay, what can I be doing? That you worried about what somebody else can do is completely throwing all your power away. You're like, well, they're not doing anything to make me feel good, so I just can't feel good. What the hell? No, no, that is not good to do. What we have to do is, okay, I am trying to give away some of my power. What can I do to take this power back? What can I do to make me feel better than I'm feeling right now? What can I do to fill me up and get me to a better place instead of waiting on them? Ask yourself when you are stuck, what exactly is it that I am deciding right now? What decision am I making right this second? Because even when you're not making a decision, that's making a decision, okay? You are not ever just in a space where you are not deciding anything, not thinking anything, not moving it anywhere. You are making decisions everything that you do or do not do. So if you are purposely holding back and just saying, well, he should be doing this, you are purposely giving away your power, making the decision that he has to fix everything about you right now, and that you don't have any power to do that. You just have to wait in the tower and hope and pray that he comes to rescue you. And is that healthy? No, that's not a healthy way to go about it. If you know that something is wrong, you start working on it. You take the initiative. And when you do that and you show that I am capable of changing how I'm feeling and working on my thoughts and working on my feelings, he is going to know that, oh, that is possible. She is possible to please. It will happen. I could actually do it. So then if you are showing him how to do it, he's going to try and take up on it. He's going to try and pick up on those cues and start to try and make you happy too. That does not mean to stop trying to make yourself happy. That does not mean to stop trying to move forward in your own healing. I'm not saying to stop just because he started helping, okay? You have to continuously be working on, what decisions am I making? What am I doing to move myself towards the future that I want? And if you are lost, if you were like, I don't know what I'm doing because I don't even really know what my future is supposed to look like. Okay, we need to go back to that. Take your journal out, sit down with your pen and paper and write down where you want your life to be going. Do you want to be in a relationship where you are happy and trusting and building incredible things together, and your children are happy, and then your grandchildren end up happy, and you are having great times together, going on trips, making good plans together? You don't have to sit there and use all your mental energy to worry about what he's doing because he's doing the right things. Now, isn't that the life you want to live? Write it down, right? All the details, all of the juicy details, all of the things that make it such a good life for you. Write it down and revisit it. Come back to that. Always about your decision to get to that life. What happens right now is you're feeling fear, and the fear will try and keep you contained. It tries to keep you small. It does not want you to grow. It does not want you to expand. It does not want your relationship to get better. That is not what the fear wants. All the fear wants to do is keep you in a small container where it can keep you relatively safe from everything except for the fear, and nobody else can ever hurt you again. But then you're hurting because you're not with who you want to be with, not doing the things that you want to do. So either way, you're going to hurt. Why not go ahead and go for what you actually want in life and get the happiness around that? And then when you do get some hurt, okay, you'll be willing to sacrifice it a little bit. You'll be like, well, damn, I had all this good stuff happen to me. A little bit of pain, not that big a deal. And I can come through it and I can get back to a happy place again. It doesn't have to be forever and ever that I feel this bad. This bad thing, yes, this has happened, but I have so much good in my life that I planned for, that I went for, that I did everything that I could do to obtain. And okay, well, yeah, a little bit of pain, that's all right. That's not going to kill me. It's only going to make you a little bit stronger. It's going to make you think of ways to get through this. Even though you are feeling that fear, you are going to try and think of ways to get through it, and you're going to be successful because you would have done it already. If you are following what I'm saying and you are getting on this healing path and you are getting to that love that you want, You can do it anytime for anything. You can go out in any situation and feel like you can conquer, because if you conquered heartbreak, if you conquered cheating, if you conquered something this huge that breaks other people apart and they never get back together again, then you can handle anything, can't you? You could handle anything in the whole wide world, and you could be joyous and happy doing it. I think it's a wonderful thing. I really do. That's just my personal opinion on it. All right. All right. So make your decision. Figure out what you want to do. Individual counseling, you should do individual counseling just because you want to work on you. You want to figure out what your stuff is and put down all your baggage if you can possibly help it. And don't worry about them. Don't worry about their progress in their therapy, if they're going to therapy, if they're not going to therapy. Get yourself some help, all right? And if you feel like relatively you don't have too many issues, but this is an issue and you need some help with this, I'm here for you. I want to help you with this. I have programs. So sign up for a free call with me. Does not matter. Whoever, I will take all comers, and I have spots this weekend. So come on here, fill up my calendar so I have stuff to do this weekend. All right. I want to talk to you. I want to chat with you. I want to give you a plan. I want to give you some inspiration. I want to help you get to the next step, whatever it may be. And you could be at any level of healing. You could be at the devastation phase where you are just a puddle in the floor. You cannot fix it. You cannot gather your emotions. You are just out of control at the moment. All right. Devastation. Totally understand that. That is a completely reasonable place to be when your heart gets shattered. Okay. But the next thing is regulation. You are starting to unshatter yourself. Okay. You're starting to collect yourself up. You are starting to collect those emotions. You are trying to get them under control. That's that regulation phase. You're trying to start lashing out quite as much. You're trying to get to a place where you feel good and you're all right with the fact that you are forgiving of something so bad. Something that you thought was a deal breaker is not. And that is what that whole regulation phase is, just gathering yourself up and accepting that about yourself. Then there is the recreation phase. You are creating this relationship all over again. You are doing things a little bit differently this time. You're doing things that you used to love to do. You are creating the happiness that you want, the future that you see for yourself. You're creating it in that time. Then there's the celebration phase where you've done it. You have done it. You are feeling good about it. You are like, we can put this chapter behind us. Wouldn't that be great to get to that place? If you're here now, if you're on the replay, give me some hearts if you would like to get to that place where you are like, we are put this behind us. We are ready to go ahead and close this chapter and open up a new one, or put this book on the shelf and start a whole new book, because we are at a better place together and we have healed, and I am not flashing back and triggered all the time, and we are having good times, and we can do our vow renewal, and we can get new rings, and we can do all of the celebratory things that say you came through a hard thing together as a couple that most people cannot come through, and you should be celebrating it. That's where you're at the celebration phase. And then of course there is the inspiration phase. You have gotten through it with your honey. Now I want you to spread that light to other people. You've gotten through it with your bae, okay? But remember how anxious and how shamed you felt about it? I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to get to that healed place, and then not only just get healed, but be able to tell your story, to be able to go to other women in these groups. I know that you are in more than one group. There's a ton of people in the other, like choosing to stay after infidelity and some other ones. You're in those groups. You are hearing these thoughts, these negative thoughts from these women who are going through this. You can tell your story. I try and do it all the time, and it feels really good that I can say, it is 14 years later. My heart doesn't even hurt anymore. I don't have even a twinge Most days I have not even a twinge. One time it happened in the last like 6 months that I can think of, and I don't even know what that was. My hormones were a little bit off that day too, but I just had a little twinge. Who's he talking to on the phone? Why is he smiling like that? He's playing a video game. But all right, I had that moment. All right, but for the most part, I don't even feel that. I don't feel triggered anymore. I don't get those terrible drops in my stomach where I just feel like I'm going to throw up. I don't get the headaches all the time anymore. I can sleep well. I don't dream about him cheating. None of that stuff. I have gotten to that point. It is absolutely possible to do. You just got to work on it. But other women telling you that it is possible, it absolutely is a possible thing to do, is inspiring. All right. You're going to talk to another woman and tell her, hey, this is my story. I am telling you that, yes, I am still a little triggered, but I am at a much better place. We are in a much better place together, and we're doing okay. We're happy. It is possible. That is something that you can do. That is why you need to be an inspiration to other people. That's why that's the final phase, because it makes sense of your pain. It makes the pain worth something. It was not just to learn and to grow in this relationship. That's not what this pain is all about. This pain is about you sharing with another woman that her pain isn't in vain too. That is what this is all about. That's the thing. That's the decision that you're going to make that's going to truly heal you and get you to a whole nother place, is deciding that you want to be an inspiration. You want to be able to tell this story one day without crying, without feeling like crap. You are going to tell this story, and your actions are going to be the roadmap to help another woman get on the healing path. That is what I want. That is the goal that I am going for. And that is why I am giving out these free doggone coaching sessions with me all the way up through. Oh, somebody asked me to expand it because, Easter is coming up. I think I expanded it all the way until the 22nd, but do not wait until the 22nd, okay? I'm telling you, the spots are filling up fast. I still got some for this weekend, but the ones during next week are going fast because people are sensibly coming to talk to me because they want some support. They want to be able to get past this, and I want to help you. Absolutely. By the end of this session, you are going to have a plan. Now, it is not going to cover everything for the next year or two, but it is going to be a plan for the next 30 days, the next 60 days. If you do this, you are going to start to see changes. I can guarantee you that. And then if you choose to work with me as your coach, I absolutely would love that. I'm trying to fully transfer over into being a relationship coach and not doing any more nursing by this summer. So I am trying to build up my list, build up my clientele, get to the point where I don't have to go and do another job instead of coming and talking to y'all. This is what I really want to do. All right. So help me out with that. Go ahead and sign up for a 45-minute coaching call. It is in the comments on the Facebook page. And it is in my link tree on Instagram. Go to my link tree in my profile and you can sign up for the 45-minute session there too. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Oh, okay. Allie, you said, is there such a thing as a normal boundary, or is it just in my head? Honestly, it's just in your head. Your boundaries are about what you would do if somebody did something that you didn't like. That's what boundaries actually are. Boundaries are not saying, oh, you can't do this. I'm telling you that this is off limits for you. You can't do this. They can absolutely still do it. It's all about what you are willing to do about it. All right. So, when you're thinking about boundaries, okay, you got to think about reasonably, what am I willing to do about this? Is this one of those things that I'm like, okay, well, this is just the end of our relationship because you broke this boundary? If that was the case, then you probably wouldn't still be together, after cheating. So you have to really consider what you are going to do about it. And honestly, a lot of the time with men, you can have things that you don't want them to do, okay? But complaining to them about it just makes them do it more. They get rebellious. They're just like teenagers, I swear. But If you react in a way that is contrary to what he would think that you would do about something that he doesn't like, he will think twice about doing it. He will hesitate the next time. It is a very strange thing. Like, okay, that's why the 180 works. Okay, that's why the 180 works, because the 180 takes away that attention. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to shower you with extra attention for bad behavior. I'm not going to do that. I am going to tend to myself. I'm going to have good times on my own. We're not even talking about this relationship until you get whatever that is together over there. All right. And that's why it works. So a lot of the time with boundaries, that's what you got to do. It's a mind game. It's a little bit of trickery. All right. You just got to figure out, okay, well, what am I willing to do about this boundary? If it's something that, you really can't control another person. It has to be about, okay, well, if you do this, I will do this. And then you actually have to follow through on it. So you got to be careful about making the boundaries, because then if you don't follow through, then they know for sure that you were lying about it being a boundary. So you got to really consider it before you go telling them and making ultimatums and telling them, okay, you can't do X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to leave, or I'm not going to talk to you, or I'm going to, all of that thing. Those things, you better consider it very carefully, because it's going to come down to what you are willing to do about it. Does that make sense, Allie? I know, because people talk to you about boundaries all the time, and they're like, "Oh, well, people should just respect your boundaries." People are people. They may or may not respect your boundaries. That may or may not happen. And you can't force somebody else to do what you want them to do, or not do what you don't want them to do. You can't make other people do it, but you have to be willing to say, okay, this is how I would react to that, and actually react in that way if this thing did happen. So, you know, you think about it, if you are worried about boundaries, you are thinking about walls. You are thinking about walls put up to protect you when you're thinking about boundaries. And a lot of this healing is not going to be about the walls. It's going to be about letting the walls down. It's about becoming vulnerable, because that's what it is. That's what you're doing. You're trying to be in a relationship. You don't want to have a whole bunch of walls erected where there is all of these different corridors that they could possibly get lost in, because you have up so many walls around yourself. You want to try and let that down. You want to be open, right? Don't you want to just be open enough to just be like, you know what? I am not going to be hurt, and throw your arms out and fly? Don't you want to do that? Like, try and go for that. Don't try so much about the boundaries. I know that's a thing, but I have said, so much of the typical advice about getting past infidelity just does not work. I mean, if it did, I would do it, and I would tell you to do it. But I tried it with oh, well, you can't do this, that, and the third. And he was like, well, yes, I can. I absolutely can. What you gonna do? You gonna leave me because of it? Okay, then I'm being petty, because I know that he only did it because I'd said he couldn't do it. It's a whole thing, the whole boundary thing. Just let down some of the walls. Don't be worried about trying to build some more up. How about that? All right. Does that make sense? Let me know. Let me know if it sounds crazy. And it might. It may sound crazy. A lot of the stuff that I felt like I was doing did feel a little crazy. It did feel like, well, this is not the typical advice. This is not what other people say. This is not what the fears in my head are telling me. But you have to recognize that a lot of that is fear speech. A lot of that stuff that's going on in your brain, a lot of that stuff that you're getting from outside people is all based in fear. And that is not conducive to a happy, loving relationship. If you are treating somebody like you are fearful of them, you are absolutely not treating them like you love them. That is completely different behavior. You are afraid of somebody, you treat them like a perpetrator. You treat them like somebody that you got to keep an eye on, and you are not willing to be intimate with, and you are not willing to get close with, because they could hurt you. That is what you are thinking about them. So what you have to do is change that thinking around and decide, even though everybody will tell you that it sounds crazy, you have to decide that you are willing to go ahead and go through this and feel all the feels and deal with the pain, and forgive the person that you love, just because that's what you want to do. You want to get past this. You want to get to a better place. You want that love. You want that openness again. Well, you can't do what the fear tells you to do and get to that place. It is just not the same path. The healing path is a little scary because you are putting yourself out there. You are making that decision. You are saying, I'm going to put myself on the line. I'm going to believe the best of you right now. Even though you could really hurt me, you could. I am going to believe the best of you. I am going to believe that things are going to be all right. And we're going to move forward and we're going to be happy again. That is an incredibly brave thing to do. It's incredibly brave. And it's also very scary. The fear will tell you things that don't seem very scary to do. The fear will tell you, well, you should pull back. You should guard your heart. You shouldn't be close to them. You should stop having sex. You should stop kissing them. You should stop telling them you love them. All of those things are just things to get you further away from them, to put more distance between you. So you can't listen to the fear. You have to listen to the love. And the love is trying to get closer. The love is trying to understand. The love is trying to give compassion and mercy. That's what the love is trying to do. So agree with the love. Do not agree with the fear. Don't do what the fear tells you to do. Make your own decision. All right. All right. Let's see. Said like herding cats with. It is. It's like freaking herding cats with these men, Allie. I'm trying to tell you. But you know what? It's not terribly difficult once you start just ignoring that fear. That fear will try and be very persistent about what it wants you to do, and it will sound totally logical and reasonable. Question that. Okay, stop that. That's what tech support does. That's what I do in my tech support program. You are telling me that thought that keeps repeating over and over and over in your head, and it's trying to get you to do something. I am going to interrupt that thought. I am going to tell you, oh, wait a minute, that thought is lying to you. That thought is not a good thought. If you keep following that thought, you will be sad and things will not go well. I will tell you what those thoughts are because they seem perfectly reasonable. They do. They seem like, oh, of course, yeah. Well, if I don't like what he's doing, then I should just show him that I don't like what he's doing. That's not the appropriate way to handle it. We are women. We are much sneakier than that. Okay. Just because he is doing something you don't like doesn't mean that you act up and be mean to him because of it. That's not gonna help the situation. You've got to work with the love and work with the it's a little bit of manipulation. You got to work on that with the man. You can't just go ahead and let them just do whatever they feel like doing and get all cross-eyed on you. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing about relationships. They don't. They don't have a clue. Like they do not even have the training for this. Most of the relationship stuff is going to be on you. Most of that is going to be on you. So if you are behaving in a not loving way, if you are behaving in that fearful way and you are showing them that that is what a relationship with you is going to be like, then they're going to run. You've got to show them that being in a relationship with you, even when you're not happy with him, even when you could be much happier, things could go much better. That doesn't mean I'm going to torture you. That doesn't mean I'm going to beat you down with it. That doesn't mean that I'm always going to be talking to you about what you did wrong and trying to make you feel bad about it and trying to make you keep apologizing for making me feel bad about it. No, we are going to be responsible for our own emotions. We're going to try and treat each other well. We're going to try and love one another. We're going to forgive one another just for being people. And we are going to move forward in this relationship together. That's not hard, right? That's not a hard concept. But what the fear says is, no, he has to fix everything. He has to do everything. And if he doesn't, then you should back away. You don't have to do that. All right. Allie, you said, let me go ahead and sign up. Please do. Okay. Come on here, get on my schedule and come talk to me. I want to talk to you. Everybody that is seeing me, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I want to talk to you. I want you to hit me up. I want you to get on my schedule. All you got to do is click on the link. It is in my bio in my link tree on Instagram. It is in the comments of this particular video on Facebook. And I want you to click on it and pick a date and time and come talk to me. I am trying to tell you, I will make you smile. By the end of the conversation, you'll be like, dang, I feel a little bit better. No, she's pretty good. I will have you feeling like that. And if you want to, you can sign up with me and do some one of my programs. Now I got 3 different ones. I'm excited. I'm happy about these things. I love them. I think in the group too, in my Facebook group, I am going to post all 3. I'll probably put them in the link tree too. Yeah, why not? I'm going to post all 3 of my programs. We've got top tier. We've got be close to me, be talking to me twice a week, be texting with me whenever you need it. I am there for you. I'm going to talk you down. I'm going to help you. That is my foundations coaching program. That is building up the foundations, getting up off the floor after this devastation, building the foundations for you to be able to heal. Is a 60-day program. You will be able to work with me. You will have 2 Zoom meetings a week with me. That is like 16 meetings, and it is only $597. So that's like $600 for all of those meetings. Okay, for 16 meetings with me, 16-hour-long sessions, it's only $597. So, and it is on the payment plans too. So that's on the page too. You can split it up into 2 payments at $300. And then there is a tech support program, which is 45 days, 60 days, or 90 days. The 90-day is $299. The 60-day is $249, and the 45-day is $199. And that is texting you every day. Whenever you need me, just hit me up. I will send you emails every day with affirmations and journal prompts and just pep talks about healing every single day for the entire length of the program, 45 days, 60 days, or 90 days. And then there is the recovery and reconciliation membership. That is my personal favorite right about now, because this group of women has been with me and they've been doing the thing. It is a fantastic group coaching program. Every week we meet up, we talk about, we're actually in the same place right now as we are here. We're talking about the decision this month. That's what we're talking about, the decision to heal after infidelity. That's exactly what we were talking about last night. So if you are interested in that, that is $77 a month for as long as you're a member. It will never change. And you can also purchase like separate coaching from me. If you are in that program, $77, you can go ahead and get an hour-long coaching program with me too. And you can bring your honey if he is interested. A lot of the time, as you are doing like tech support with me or doing the foundations program with me, he might hear you talking with me. If you put me on speaker, okay, the stuff that I say will make sense to him. And then he'll be like, who is that you're talking to? Be like, this is my coach, Dasha. I know that we're having some issues and I am working on that. I want this to be a much better relationship. I want us to be happy. I want to forgive. I want us to be close. And he's going to be like, oh, and then he's going to see what you do, if you're actually listening to what I say, he's going to be like, hey, this person has actually made them think about what they're doing, change what she's doing. I think maybe this is a good person to talk to. And then all of a sudden he'll want to have a session with me too. So that's how you work it, okay? We cannot be just do it. We can't just grab them by the collar and tell them to do stuff. I know it would be so much better. I think it was in that movie, The Other Boleyn Girl. Their mother was like, we cannot just stamp our pretty feet and get what we want. We are not doing that. We are making moves, okay? We are showing and proving that what we want is what they should want. And when you do that, that's how you get them to come along for everything. That's how you get them to behave. That's all you got to do is lead. And I know that you're capable of leading. So come join me. Go ahead and click that link. It's down below on Facebook. It is in my link tree on Instagram. And come do a 45-minute session with me. I want to talk to you. Okay? All right. We're over now. We're over the hour for the Healing Hour Live, but I really appreciate you all showing up. I love to chat with you. I love doing this. This is going to be my full-time job soon, and I'm excited excited about it. I love this. I can't wait to start speaking and doing the whole thing, because this is what I want to teach people. This is what I want women to know, that they can survive. They can get past this. They can get to a much happier, much healthier relationship. Even if things are going horribly wrong now, still, even then, there is a path from horribly wrong to exactly the relationship you want. There is a path. I know the path. I've been down the path. I want to show you the way down. Okay? All right, let's see. What's a good affirmation for the day? Oh, we were doing tons of affirmations in the Trust Issues Challenge, and people did their affirmations online. They did them live, and I loved every bit of it. Let me see. What's a good affirmation? Oh, affirmations. It doesn't matter if you believe the affirmation or not. Say it like you mean it. Look yourself dead in the eye. Tell yourself like you really mean what you say, and say it out loud. Like it's somebody like your best friend. Your best friend is feeling down and you want them to feel better. What would you say to them? What would you say about how wonderful they are? How great a person that they are, how much love that they show, how much, you want to be around them. You want to do that for them, do it for yourself too. All right. So let's see. What's a good affirmation? I bought an affirmation deck and I forgot it in the other room, but that's okay. Let's see. I am in control of my decisions and my thoughts. That is the affirmation that I want. We are talking about the big D, the decision of being in control of yourself and healing yourself. I am in control of my decisions and my thoughts. All right. That's what I want you to be repeating to yourself through this week. Remember, the decision is yours. You have that power. Absorb that and hang on to it, and then express it every day. Put yourself out there and try your very best to believe in yourself, believe in your love and your decision. You're making a good decision. I don't think you're making a bad one. All right. All righty, y'all. That's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. We are going to be right back here on, let's see, April 21st for the next edition. And I think that's about it for now. Don't forget to do your affirmations. Don't forget to not do what the fear tells you to do. Always do what the love is trying to get you to do. And I think that's about it for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.